and my brother from another mother. We back. What's good, bro?
What's good with you, bro?
Man, I've been all over the place here over the last week. We've had so many other things that have popped on up, though, man. So I'm glad we were able to link back up, get on this podcast one more time, though, man. But been all over the place, though, man. So, but you know,
Oh yeah. Life definitely happens. Bruh, been on these finales, bruh. So I watched the Tyriq season finale. I watched the Barry series finale, and I watched Succession series finale.
so let me ask you this: so with Succession, so no spoilers on that one. I'm like, because we spoil stuff all the time. So if you drop some stuff on it,
Nah,
it ain't
I'm
gonna
not.
matter to me. Just because I'm still finishing up season 2. So I'm saying, so it ain't gonna spoil it too much for me though. Matter of fact, let's get the music going. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast
If you
of all time.
smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are both live on, we are live on both platforms at the same time. That way you get the heads up whenever your boys haven't been on. But when we are on, you get the heads up. You click the bell notification. We live. Ace Kennedy. I hear the that was messed up.
He needs some milk.
It's been a little while, bro. It's been a week.
I see that.
Hey, listen, man. He was talking about you saw the finales. Let's talk about Succession first, because listen, that's the one that I'm nowhere near that. But it was the ending of the entire series, though, right? It ain't like just a season finale.
Nope, it's over. Here's the thing. I'm still not going to give spoilers because here I need you to see what I saw and have the reaction for yourself. There's something that happens in season 4 that is so epic that it's just like I can't even spoil that one for you. So I will just say this. It did wrap up nicely. I didn't guess the ending. And listening to the writers talk about why they chose the ending, it makes sense now with how it began. And so there was a lot of realization of stuff that happened. To me, it was one of the better series finales, because a lot of times you see stuff that ends and it's just like, they could have did
That was
this,
going to be
they
my
coulda did
question
that.
for you.
For Succession, I feel like, yeah, I think with Succession, I think people can be happy with the ending and respect it and understand why certain people did what they did and how it ended where it did. So I feel like, yeah.
Okay, so it wouldn't be me if I
Now,
didn't ask this. Where does it rank on best season endings? No, I'm sorry, series endings, right? If you had to say it's top 5 or it's better than this one, where does it rate?
well, it's definitely better than Game of Thrones, which that's not a very high bar.
Yeah.
It's better than Ozark. Better ending than Ozark.
I stopped watching Ozark, so I don't even know how.
I know you ain't finished that. I know. let's see here.
Is it better
Better than
Utrecht?
Tower. Better than Utrecht. I mean, because you got to think Utrecht, the movie though, bro. It was the Utrecht movie. I would have been perfectly fine with them just ending with how they ended the series, the season, not the movie. And you and I talked about that. You even said that you thought the movie was probably about a 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, because I think the ending of Succession is around a 8.59 ish. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the perfect ending could have been, but I didn't see this coming. But I'm not disappointed with it. Like I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, okay, if I go back and rethink some things and see how characters started and finished, it's like it definitely was a shock ending with how I thought it was gonna go, but I'm not tripping about it. It's not like one of those, well, it didn't go the way I thought it should go, so then it's whack. It wasn't like that.
Well, that it's funny though. With me being on season 2, and I'm so still at the very beginning, that I don't even know. I don't even know how I could even imagine the ending would be, right? Because I like the thing that's just funny to me is that I have been keeping up without looking at the details. I mean, I'll see people who will say, like I saw one that said, "Oh yeah, this episode of Succession was the best hour ever in television history." Like there was one episode, 2 episodes where people said this might be the best TV ever.
Season 4, episode 3 is next level.
Is it? That's something that's like I saw people saying that though, bro. So I was like, all right, you know what, man? If people are saying that, like it got that. So I couldn't imagine how the season would end though, bro. So I don't have my head on wrapped around on that part just yet though.
Well, see, here's the thing. You told me, you were like, look, people are saying this next episode is the one. And I didn't know what you meant, right? So then when I watched it, I was just like, Charlie, they definitely was a shock to the system, bro. Like, definitely was like, wow, that was a dramatic turn. So yeah.
Wow.
Now Barry, bruh, whack. Barry did. I don't think you're gonna watch Barry, are you?
I've never watched Barry, bro.
All right,
I don't even know. This was funny. I don't even know what Barry is even about.
Okay, so Barry is about Bill Hader playing this dude named Barry Berkman, who is a assassin, but he wants to become an actor in the show. And so during this process, there are things that are happening where he still has to do certain hits for certain people because he's still a contract killer. But there's things that are happening. So the show is really good. It reminds me of a light Dexter or something like that. But you know, Dexter is out there seeking to kill bad people or whatever, whereas Barry is kind of contracted to do it, and he's trying to like leave that life and just become like he wants to be a regular person, an actor or whatever. But they did this weird thing. I don't know if it was at the end of season 3 or right in the beginning of season 4. They did this random time jump that was so, bro, it was the most awkward thing that was just like you almost hope somebody was dreaming. That's how bad the time jump was. I'm talking about probably a 10-year time jump, and it makes no sense whatsoever for the series. Like this ain't a series like a Star Wars or something like that where it's sci-fi, it's fantasy, and you do a time jump. It's like, okay, cool. This was just like random, just like boom, time jump. And then they kept with the story, and it just never got its balance back. And so the ending was whack. I was just like, they could have kept all of this, bro. And I get it because I heard Bill Hader talk about it. I guess during season 3 is when the pandemic hit, and so they wrote season 3 and 4 during the pandemic and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, well, if y'all had all this time, y'all should have came up with some better stuff than this, because it was just like, I mean, it was so mid, bro. It was almost minimum.
I was gonna say, the one of the things that one of the shows that I thought one of the shows that I thought had a dope ending, I'm gonna be honest, to the actual series was Walking Dead. Now, even though they have their different spin-offs, I think that TWD as it existed at the time, I thought that their last episode did a very good job of wrapping all of it on up, but then also gave you that, it could be a spin-off. And they had the spinoffs ready to go right then and there. But I think that it made the spinoffs make sense. Right. That's what I think was real dope about it though, man. So yeah.
All right, bro. Let's get into this Tyriq.
Yes. I did see all of that. I did see that one.
You did see all of it?
I did see it. I did watch it. Yeah.
Okay. So what is your ranking from 1 to 10 with the season finale? What about this season altogether? Like, what do you think of this season?
Okay, just the season. I'm gonna give it a 7. And I'm gonna give the season finale also about a 7. I say that only because I think that the one thing that I did like was I like the expansion that they made on all the individual characters, right? I thought that you got a little bit more in depth with the different people, right? The only one that I don't think that you really got too deep into was Kane, right? But I think that outside of that, all the other characters, you really, even with like Monet, that you kind of already started to get more from her on the last season, right? But I think that with this season, though, I thought that all the other people that they kind of needed to explain a little bit more, I think they did. I think that on the ending with the surprising of having Tommy on there and Tasha, I thought that you kind of give that nostalgia from the old seasons. So I thought that was some wow, some pop to it as well, because I thought about it. Once they killed Sax, I thought that, like, dang, Sax was like one of the originals, right? And so it's like when one of the originals go down, it's like, well, how do you then top that though, man? And so I thought overall though, man, I would give it a 7. The season a 7. I thought that the episode matched what I thought, and I think that some of my concerns or my critiques were consistent with, if I had a critique about it 2 seasons ago or 2 episodes ago, it was pretty much the same critiques that I would have had this time around. So from that regards though, bro, yeah, it was consistently about a 7, maybe 6.5 to 7.
Okay, so this season validated my thought process about this being the worst of the Power verse. To me, the season was about a 5. The season finale, again, about a 5. So I agree with your assessments that the character development for everybody was there. I even thought Kane had a successful character development because you involve a love story with him now. You saw him taking the lead more. Monet kind of fell to the wayside a little bit because she was grieving through half the series. And then when she finally got her bearings, she was kind of pulling the boss move where she was just, say 1 or 2 things in the episode and then boom, she was done. But I felt like Drew got a bigger character development. I love the shout out of the Oklahoma City Thunder in there. I thought that was dope. That was super random. But I mean, like I said, all the character development stuff I was cool with, but they abandoned school. Like the school scenes just became null and void.
Well, see, I don't think that they completely abandoned them being actually in school, right? I don't think that
the teacher attention went towards Lorenz Tate's character. Like they stopped going to class altogether. Tell me the last time they've been to class. about
Yeah,
3 episodes ago.
okay, so the last time they went, but this is my thing. You can't have them in class every single day, right? But
You
I think
can't.
that, but see, I think the last time that they were in class was when the boy Tate came to visit the class, and I thought that that was more of one of the things that built on that relationship. So I thought that I'm not too mad about that. That part I'm not.
No. I'm not
I
too
ain't
mad
gonna butcher
about it.
them on that.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just critiquing everything that's in. Like I'm about consistency and story. The
Sure.
problem, the big issue I have with this season and with this series is the predictability of stuff. I absolutely I can't, like, that to me is lazy writing when you can create something out of thin air from nothing. When you're talking about important plot points, right? When you're trying to implicate that this character did this based upon some little small evidence,
Give me an
and then it's
example.
just like, it's, for example, it'll be like Tyriq and the boy Method Man is sitting down and he opens up a piece of gum and be like, oh, this rapper right here, it reminds me of when my brother did this, so my brother's gonna kill Sax. Like it just, how do you come up with that? Like, or it's just like every single thing that the police find, I don't care what evidence it was, it could lead toward the Russians, and it'd be like, see, Tyriq knew the Russians. Like, how is everything just how is, like, there's no other crimes in New York, or every single crime in New York is by Tyriq. Every single, there's no other crime going on unless it's connected to Tyriq. And I'm just like, bruh, this little kid is not the cause of every single thing that's happening in New York. Like, that, y'all gotta stop with that. So I just hated that.
So I think that it only appeared to be that way because they were trying to build the Rico case and show how widespread his network was. But here's the one thing I'm gonna tell you that I realized by the end of that episode, probably by the end of the episode when Lauren wound up flipping when she went there and did a statement, I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe how much I hate." And I didn't realize it. The Puerto Rican detective, I hate her voice so badly, bro.
Perez.
Oh my God. I just, like, she was like, we're gonna go ahead and have to do this. No, Tariq St. Patrick. And I just hated how she sounded. She was like, no, we know he knew Tommy Egan, and we got to link you back to Lauren, and we're gonna link you back to Effie. And it's how she just enunciates where it feels like she pronounces it feels like her voice, right, comes all from just this part of the throat. One part of the throat. It's nothing. It's like no, everything doesn't come from her diaphragm. It's all from just as well. I couldn't stand. I just said, "Oh my gosh!" I just couldn't realize, and it was too much her talking. I'll get it over with by now. I'm like, "Come on, bro," because I knew that Lauren was eventually going to flip.
The other thing that just drove me, where I just, bro, it sent me to the whole highest level of festivity. When the boy Sax died, and all of a sudden this boy got addresses and emails for everybody, bro. Everybody getting individually written invitation letters that explicitly explains a different piece of the puzzle, that all these people is putting these letters together like Power Rangers, bro, to figure out the whole plot. I'm like, really, bro? Like, he found the dude that was in jail, the black dude, the thug dude. He found him. Like, where did he find him at, bro?
Yeah, well, listen, because he was ex-DA, you know what I'm saying, office, I'm pretty sure that it was implied that he used his connections, that he still knew that. It was implied, right?
It was a
I'm
quick
still mad
turnaround
that
when that boy
Tyriq
thought he was gonna die.
I'm still mad that Tyriq had a Lambo truck that he rented, then had a fresh BMW, and just gave up the BMW for a Cutlass Supreme. I said, you done gave up the bro ham though, bro. And it was just funny seeing it was just funny to me seeing Ty. Let me tell you the one thing that I do love. Two things about your coincidental, right? So I thought that it was coincidental that Effie just knew how to handle herself, like knew how to fight like that, right, in jail, right? So she avoided getting stabbed a little bit, and the officer was like, "Oh yeah, tougher than I thought." So that was one thing. I thought that it was also another thing that Braden just all of a sudden now is just always strapped, right? To the point where he's in the hospital with the strap, and then you know what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, he said you strapped? Yeah, let me hold that." And it goes 2 guns up. And so I'm just thinking like it was almost like how when they just said, "Oh yeah, you got to find a way to get rid of these guns," and Tyriq and them find a way to dump these guns off, right? And then so I think it's just funny to me that now outside of what you know Braden to be, just like that now he's strapped up and is dumping 2 guns off on him. Though,
Charlie, tell me this one my favorite. So Braden talks to the black chick who gave him the location of where his uncle was gonna be, right? So then afterwards she comes back, she says, Braden, so you said you was gonna handle it, and all of a sudden he's dead now. And the suicide note doesn't sound like how he would sound. So what really happened? And I'm thinking like, so you read the suicide note because they published it online or they put it out, they put it on the news so that you knew exactly.
I didn't even think about that, bro. I didn't even think about that, man. I did not even think about that, bro. So you saw the letter. Like, when did you see that?
Yeah,
it was on
I saw
TV.
his handwriting. That don't look like his handwriting. That don't sound like him.
Gosh, man. No, maybe he sent the news. Maybe he sent the email out in a blast to the whole company beforehand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, that is hilarious, though, man. I think that so this is the other thing too, right? So I do think it is something that's just crazy that how everybody in like this is the thing to me. I still don't get why the daughter D, like what was her gain in flipping on Tyriq? Like I understand it, but it didn't quite make sense to me either. Like if you really want to get your mama out of there, right? I guess I just didn't quite understand the gain of flipping on Tyriq like that. Like it wasn't for it to be as so again, right?
Her whole thing though. She did that through the whole season though. Like even when she was supposedly setting up the cop, and it like all of her flips just didn't make sense. Like they're just basically trying to write her into the script, bro. She's purposeless.
I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I love how she flipped and told Zeke that Monet was her mama and that he was. Oh, that was epic though, bro. That was epic. But like when I look at that, I'm thinking like, okay, so you wanted her to pay for killing your dad. Now she's not dead. And so in exchange for that, now you're gonna go ahead and get rid. So that means that she's not like she's okay now. Like even Drew, it's okay now. She's not dead, right? But y'all forgive her now. Like that's the thing I just don't like. I can understand if y'all made it seem like she might die and y'all don't know, and maybe y'all are trying to cover tracks or whatever. I guess I just didn't get the whole thing though, bro. I didn't. Yeah.
And then the cliffhanger just wasn't like a cliffhanger. Like I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the next season.
Nah, it did. Now the only thing that it did make me wonder, like, okay, so this is my thing. So my thing is that how did Sax know where Tasha was and know, like, I don't even remember. Okay, so how did Sax know where Tasha was? So I guess even I'm wondering is I might have to go back and watch. Now you got me want to watch the whole episode over again because and now I'm just sitting here thinking like, well, how did D even know Tommy's mama address or even knew that, you know what I'm saying, that Tommy's mama would know that Tommy was still alive if in New York he's dead. Like that's the part that I was just like,
How does she know Tommy?
well, I think that is the I thought that Sachs slipped the information to Mo. I don't know, man. I gotta go back. I'm missing something now. I'm missing something.
Yeah, and then look, Tommy came on the show and got dumb like the rest of the characters because he come in guns blazing on everybody else, but didn't want to have a conversation with Tasha.
Yeah, when you was
Like,
ready
the
to
way
kill
he
him for
flipped,
years.
it's not the conversation I'm okay with. Right. And the conversation I'm okay with because he does talk crazy to people before he kill them. But to just flip all of a sudden like that, I was just like, okay, all right.
So I'm gonna tell you this though. I love the conversation, right? Because I think that there was that part of the conversation that Tasha never got to tell Tommy, and that no, she was about to snitch on you, homeboy. So I saved you. So I think that the part that I think, right, what I think is dope about that is that to me, that conversation now opens things up so much for Tommy's own show. But then it also thinks like, all right, well, where is Tasha at? Will Tommy know? Does she now got to come out of witness protection now? Like I always think that it does allow for not necessarily for this, but for the other stuff, right? That's the one thing I think. But then here's the other thing too, though, right? The thing I think that was crazy. Again, she comes out of witness protection to do a drive-by holding 2 Uzis, bro. Like, wait a minute, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I know that she was cold, but I didn't think she was like accurate like that. Like the accuracy though for Tasha to just come out though and pull with 2 Uzis and hit the target, bro, and peel off. No driver. She the shooter and the driver.
I'll give them the Tommy Tasha scene, but they ain't getting the sack stuff, bro. That boy didn't just become Santa Claus delivering presents to everybody, bro. No.
Oh my gosh, man. Like Sax is dropping them jewels on them boys, man.
Hey, so yeah, and then it's like, wait a minute, right? Like, did he just send the letters and then like, all right, I'm dying tonight? Like, what was the magic button that like, oh, Sax is dead, boom, let me send these out? Like, it's so much that I'm just like,
I can see that. You know, I've seen that in movies before when they're like, hey, if you getting this, that mean I'm dead. So you need to know that. I'm not mad at that part. That part, I'm like, all right, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool on that.
So the Miami Heat going to the finals.
Yeah.
What you think?
It's so much to unpack on this one, right? Because it was such an unconventional way that they actually got here, right? So you got to take it all the way a step back. They lost the first play-in game to the Bulls, right? So they were the 8th seed. They beat the Knicks, which made me happy. They go on, and who they also just beat?
Philly?
They beat the Knicks. They beat Philly, right? And no, they didn't beat Philly. The Celtics beat Philly. They beat somebody else. But anywho, though, this is the thing. This is what I'm getting at. So the thing that got me is conventional wisdom in history will say that when you up 3-0, it's a foregone conclusion. All right, it's hard to win 4 straight games, especially after you've already got 3, because there's no margin for error, right? So when I'm looking at this, though, bro, I'm watching it and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, they play. I've been seeing the Celtics lose at home, like they lose at home easily, bro. They will cough up some games easily. So I knew that they had the potential to lose it, but I just thought as well that the momentum flipped and that the history flipped, because when you just won 3 in a row and then you lose 3 in a row, and then you go back to the home game, convention tells me that, all right, the team that's playing the home game has a better chance of winning. But when that home team has already lost several times at the crib, it's just like, wow. And then it was just how they won the game 6 on the final buzzer. It was just so many. It was like a roller coaster. Like I've never seen. I will be honest. I've never seen a series like that one ever on any level. I've never seen one that's so all over the place where history, conventional wisdom, common sense, everything just doesn't explain how Miami is up there, bro. I don't know how they even did. They have no business being there as an 8 seed. It's been crazy, bro.
No, I absolutely agree. I definitely thought that Boston, once they won the third game, Miami was out of here. There was no way they was going to recover. You know, injuries are a part of the game. Obviously, you know, Miami is down Victor Oladipo. They're down Tyler Hero. And they weren't playing particularly well. But then in the last game, Tatum rose that ankle very early off in the beginning, and he wasn't the same ever since.
So listen, this. So even if that's indeed the case, all right, and I agree with that 100%. I think the thing this is the thing that I'm still blown away by, right? So I think the thing that I'm blown away by is Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler, and to something that, okay, this is the thing that's frustrating about Jimmy Butler and even Bam Adebayo, right? So the thing that's frustrating to me about Jimmy Butler is how he can be playoff Jimmy, and then you'd be like, where the hell is Jimmy? Because I thought Jimmy Butler was hurt, because when I saw them play a couple of the games, like I'm seeing Jimmy Butler get blocked by Derek White, and he doesn't look like he have any lift in his shot to do it. And then outside of that, though, it's almost like he didn't have the aggression. And I was just like, bro, like, are you just not playing aggressive because you just don't got, like, yeah, he made those game winning, or what was supposed to be the game winning 3 free throws. But I think the part that was crazy to me about it, though, is that even outside of that, I mean, he wasn't really doing a whole lot that was crazy, though, man. Like, so much so that I'm kind of surprised that he got the Eastern Conference MVP. I thought that Caleb Martin should have got it, though, to be honest, because he was consistently better.
I understand why he got the Eastern Conference Finals championship. I mean, MVP, because he was the series belonged to Jimmy. That game belonged to Caleb Martin. Also, when you said where is Jimmy, bro, I instantly thought of that boy. Oh my gosh, what's my boy name? R-Truth, bro, with Lil Jimmy, bro.
Lil Jimmy.
But
he said he can go. Jimmy Butler can go from giving you 50 points or 35 points to giving you 16 of the most meaningless points you'll ever see. And the reason why I thought that Caleb Martin would have been better, because I would have been a better fit for that MVP, is just because I just thought that, yeah, he had the better game this game, but I thought that in those games, though, like in between those great Jimmy games, I thought that Caleb Martin just consistently played better. Now, my thought, this is me reading in between the lines, right, is that Jimmy Butler is the bigger name. And because this is still this award is only like a year old, I just think that history is going to remember Jimmy Butler longer than you would remember Caleb Martin. So it just made sense from a branding perspective that you give it to Jimmy Butler. But I just thought that, me personally, I thought that Caleb Martin played more consistently better than Jimmy did, to me.
I wouldn't have had an issue with them giving it to Caleb Martin, because they gave the Finals MVP one time to Andre Iguodala over Steph. So that doesn't bother me.
I still got a problem with that.
Why?
Well, so it's like this. This is the way I think the reason why I would have less of a problem is because Andre Iguodala he was a made guy. When I say made guy, he had some credentials. I think that he was an all-star, if I'm not mistaken, a borderline all-star for a lot of times. But I think that the reason why I've always had a problem with that year that Iguodala getting MVP is that I thought that with all things considered, you got MVP for your defense that you played on LeBron, but people say that like LeBron still averaged a 30-point triple-double for the entire playoffs, though. So I just didn't see where when they said, oh, he was this spark. He played some good defense on LeBron, but LeBron averaged a triple-double that time, though. So that's a whole different conversation. But you know the thing that I'm tired of, though, bro? I'm dead tired of every single chance they get, someone's bringing up all these undrafted players, bro. And I'm just thinking, like, at this point, though, man, some of these dudes have been in the league now for some years. So they're here. Like, what is the point of you bring, like, I mean, listen, to me, that just says that it just tells you how hit or miss the draft process can be. That just because you're drafted doesn't guarantee you stardom, a future, whatever. Because I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking like, well, Caleb Martin, yeah, he was undrafted, but I remember him and his brother also playing for the Hornets, and he was out of the league for like a year or whatever. But I'm thinking like, all right, he's been legit. Duncan Robinson, you know what I'm saying? He's been on a second contract though. He's legit. So all of these guys, like they keep bringing up all these undrafted players, and I'm thinking like, bro, these guys have been in the league now for a couple of years. They're like, why is that still narrative being emphasized so much? It sounds grand, but I'm just like, dog, you in the NBA, bro. Like I'm tired of hearing about the undrafted players. They ballers though, bro. They there. So stop emphasizing. To me, it's almost like it's a backhanded compliment, right? It's like, oh, these guys wasn't even drafted. Well, they here. They're showing that they belong. So why you got to keep emphasizing? I hate that so much about that, though, bro.
Nah, I get that. And yeah, Jimmy Butler was hurt. I did want to say that. But no, I understand. Yeah, they definitely was on that like super heavy. Felt like every time they got a chance to say it, they did.
Yeah. Oh, there go another one of those undrafted players. I'm thinking like, bro, this man's been in the league for 4 years now, and y'all still are riding this? Like, what? Come on, bro. Stop it. What's better than that?
While we still talking basketball, there was this report that came out that said the referee Eric Lewis is under investigation for a burner account, bro. They said that boy was out here KDing, bro.
I read that, and I think that what I saw was that they said that somebody said that it was his brother's account. Which, if that was indeed true, no harm, no foul on them. I don't have any problem with it. But even with that said, though, bro, I don't know, man. Like, NBA referees and referees in general, I think, are held to a whole different standard, right? Because I think that referees, so what is it that the referees shouldn't be able to have social media, or should they? I understand that part of their job means you limit what your content is. Your content as a referee is different.
They're not allowed to respond about officiating. That's what it is. It's just they're not allowed to respond to officiating stuff. And especially like these were directed, I guess, towards anything that was referencing him. So that's why they had the concern. But yeah, I think a part of their contract, they're not allowed to respond to officiating stuff.
I mean, I can listen. If you, I can understand it. Like, so this is the thing. Like, so here's the thing. I think. Okay, so imagine this, right? So you and I, we can sit here and say, oh, it's just, you post, but just you can ignore the noise, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, bro, like how that would be easy to say, right? If let's say that you out here, you popping, right? You got you on, you up, and for some reason something's going on, and people are basically just going in on you and you feel like that's not accurate or whatever. And yeah, it could be easy to be like, nah, you could just take the high road. But I guess what I'm just wondering is like, is that always like, is it just impossible to at some point, like you got to defend yourself, or do you just say, hey, that just comes with the job?
I think you have to, because like my thing is this: if they come on my Twitter, I'm going ham on the rest. I don't ever call out any individual rest by name, but they can go through my Twitter feed and see how I be clapping at the rest. So for me, it's like, what am I gonna respond to him for? Like, okay, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I think if you are getting personally attacked, I can understand why that would be more of an issue where you might want to, you know what I'm saying, respond. Like if you getting mentioned, you know what I'm saying, then I can understand that. It's almost like we didn't bring this story up, but this is an example, right? So Kwame Brown made some comments about LeBron, right? So then Flip and Shannon actually commented about it, and Shannon was going ham on that boy Kwame. So hey, he went in on Shannon, and I mean called him everything under the sun. And I'm thinking like, I'm not mad at that, because I was talking about LeBron, ain't mentioned y'all, and then I'm a topic on your show now, so now you using your platform to say what you want to say. Oh, so I'm clapping full heavy clap back, and I had no issue with it at all, because it's like and the point he made was like, look, I play basketball, you play football. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can make comments about basketball stuff because I played it. You didn't.
I understand his point, but I don't like that. I don't like that take though.
You may not like it, but I what I'm saying is when it comes to this particular situation, I still think it's a valid point. The point is the main point is, look, he didn't mention Flip or Shannon. And the fact that they made that a topic because it was about LeBron, and then like talked his whole resume down like he's the worst bust in the NBA, and you know, just like ran him all the way down. I had no issue with him coming back and clapping back.
I don't either. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really have a problem with either of the things. This is one of those things where I think that all takes can be true. Like all clapback can be true. Like I'm perfectly fine with him coming. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. He was flaming Shannon Sharp, bro. He was flaming shit. I said, oh my gosh. And I thought that it was hilarious, bro. But at the same time, I think that so this is my thing. It does make it seem like that only certain people are qualified to talk down about LeBron. And that's the only problem that I have, because they were like, oh, you supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to be this great player. You supposed to be, and I get, but what if somebody else said that? Like, what if Draymond said that? Is it okay because Draymond is made, right? Like, what if Paul Pierce said that? It's just, it seems like a lot of times, though, man, I think that when it comes to people that talk down on LeBron or have some negative criticism on him, that it's almost like you got to qualify your credentials, right? You have to basically be able to say, well, who is you? Like, I think that what Kwame is saying is that, all right, if you really that guy that people say you are, you're supposed to be able to make that. That's just it. That's a shot there, especially when it comes to the GOATs. People automatically assume Jordan will make any shot that LeBron missed, basically, though. So I get that, though, man. But to Shannon's point, it's like you said, LeBron was supposed to be this great player. Like, you were supposed to be this great player. You were supposed to be exact. We thought that you was the guy that you said LeBron was supposed to be. So I get it, though, man. So that's what I said. I think all takes could be equal, but I do think that the responses to everything is fair game to me. I don't have any problem with anybody at all on this one at all.
I like I said, I don't either. But at this, I'm more so like happy that he clapped back, because again, I said what I said about LeBron. If LeBron wanted to respond, cool. But the fact y'all just made me a whole segment and you ran me down, like, nah, then you got to catch all of these strays, bro. Or it ain't even strays, these directs. So,
but I'm saying though, could you? I don't listen, bro. I don't know if somebody's just giving me their opinion about me, right? And let's just say if they're saying this is just my opinion, it doesn't matter to me about the facts, right? If somebody just if we're not even talking, if somebody says, "Yo, I hate Charlie Venus raps," you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter to me. Like if Charlie
No,
Venus,
no, that I was just gonna use that as an example, right? So my thing is, if you made comments right about Nas or any rapper that's a national recording artist, right, and you made comments about it, well, you are a rapper, okay?
facts.
But then if Joe Budden, can't even say Joe Budden because he's a rapper, but let's say the boy Academics gets on his podcast and starts running you down like you supposed to be the best rapper out of Killeen and just going in on you, you have now taken your platform. Because first of all, I was talking about whatever artist I was talking about, ain't got nothing to do with Academics, but the fact that you came and I would expect you to run Academics down, bro.
This is so for starters. I've never tried to be the best rapper out of Killeen. That's one thing. But the other part to it is that, okay, so this is my thing. I can't listen. This is the thing. Part of me would want to dog walk him. I would want to walk him down. I'm not going to lie. But then it also tells me, well, am I going to walk down everybody that don't like what I got, don't like? So this is my thing.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think you have. I don't think that this is an all equal treatment, right? Because here's the thing. I feel like if Shannon them just said, I don't like what Kwame Brown said, and that was it. Like if they were talking about LeBron, right? And in the midst of the conversation about LeBron, like talking about, oh, I don't know whether he's gonna retire or not, but seeing him miss these shots, man, I don't know, man. His legs just ain't there. Then he's like, oh, speaking of which, man, did you hear what Kwame Brown said? I ain't appreciate his comments and went right back to LeBron. I don't think that's anything. I think that's fine. But you went in on him. Nah, because like you said, people are gonna just think about it like when the slap happened, right? Every comedian had something to say. And then they were just saying stuff about Jada just to get Will to come out. So it's like, no, everything doesn't deserve a response. But I felt like that was warranted. That's my opinion about it.
I do feel like Kwame's response, this clapback, was warranted. But I just think that for me though, I think of like in terms of even the referee, right? I'm thinking more about that, right? In terms of people are criticizing his refereeing. It's like somebody criticizing my rapping, right? It's saying like, oh yeah, somebody be like, oh, I hate when homeboys refereeing games. He always feel like he's still in the show. He takes it too personal, whatever. And that's like if somebody just told me, yeah, man, I don't like Charlie. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's whack. I hate what he raps about. I hate everything about it. If somebody told me that, I'm not gonna lie, part of me would want to walk him down. I would want to go in, but then at the same time, I'd sit there and think about that. Like the internet is undefeated, bro. So it's like, how would I ever just be trying to wash one person? There's always gonna be another one.
No, I get that. I feel like with the referees, if you're getting tagged in a bunch of, let's say when you ref a game, you getting mentioned, you getting 100 mentions, and it's that one somebody in the comments that just really got under your skin, so you got on that burner and lit them a new one just because. Because I went in on a news reporter over Russell Westbrook, and we had a nice little back and forth, and I was proud of myself that whatever I said made him respond to me.
I see that's the thing. I don't get off on people like that to get a reaction. I do know some people's like, I got him to respond, and that was enough.
But that was no. That was not my intent of I want to make him respond. I legitimately had an issue with what he said about Russ. And it was like it felt like if somebody was saying something about you, and I was like, nah, you ain't finna say this about my homie, bro. Like, no, we ain't finna do this. That's what it was in that particular instance. And we had a nice little back and forth for 2 or 3 responses, but I'm just saying, and it wasn't, I just was shocked that he responded, because it's like, okay, who is this dude that's really defending Russ like that? Like, That was the thing. So I wasn't. It wasn't the point of trying to get him to respond. I was legitimately upset with what he said. So
Yeah. I get that though, man. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, real quick, did you see there was a report out there that they were talking about the Bulls believe that Lonzo Ball might not ever play again because of his knee issues. But not just that, they said that the Lakers believe that it happened because of the three B's, the triple B's, the baller brand, big baller brand. They said that it happened because of the shoes. That this is the thing I didn't think about. So the thing I never thought about is when you talk about players getting their own shoes. The thing I guess I never considered, you think about the design of shoes and the look of shoes, but I guess I never really thought about the research and development that goes behind shoes, traction, cutting, all that other stuff, and why that might take a little while. So you might have prototypes in just off of the research and the science behind that shoe in the works for years. And then you finally say, well, we know that the research and development for the material and for the traction is cool. Now we can just design a shoe. Well, for them to just throw something on out there, I guess they were like, it would almost be like the way I read into this one is like if somebody was still playing in Chucks, like Chucks ain't necessarily designed to play in today's NBA. So they was like, we think that the Lakers were basically, we think that his knee issues could have came from playing in the three Bs. So, bro, that joke would be crazy if I don't know how you can prove that to be true, but that's wild though, bro.
it is, and there's no way that you can prove it. I mean, it's a nice theory, but there's no way you can prove that because that man could have. I mean, because even like looking at my kids, right? Tare that tore his knee, like where did that come from? Did that really come from the layup that he did and he landed awkwardly and boom? Or when Deuce tore his Achilles tendon, was it because of that particular moment? Like, no, that means your stuff was weak to begin with. So where do you start that weakness? Because you've been playing basketball since you were a kid. You've been having wear and tear on that body for that whole long time. And that was just the straw that broke the camel's back at that particular moment. So again, nice theory, and it is super unfortunate that that would be the case with a person's career that young. So yeah, I did see that they were talking about he might not play again. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's early. What do you expecting to happen out of this Nuggets and Miami? Who you got?
Nuggets clean sweep.
40?
4 games over.
Wow. I would have said Nuggets in 6.
Nope. I think Miami, if Miami was healthy, I think that could be a possible case or even them winning. The fact that they're coming
Tyler
off
Hero might come back though.
Don't matter. He ain't gonna be the difference. I'm just saying, bro. They are too banged up. That squad has you think, right? Their playoffs started earlier than anybody else. And they've had to fight through this whole process because they lost the first game, then had to win that game, and then going to, they have already put a lot of miles this season. I think they are spent. I think they got it done. Yes, they got it done against Boston, but I do think part of that is because Tatum got hurt early on. I think Boston would have won had Tatum not been injured. But that, we can say shoulda, couldas, and how they wouldas all day long. I'm just saying for what was presented in front of me, I just think Miami is too hurt. Jimmy Butler still hobbled. He was hobbling even more toward the end of the game. Their starting point guard that they got, he's hobbled. So it's gonna take a lot. They're gonna need more than Caleb Martin because here's the thing, even if they let Yoke get all he can stand, right? They ain't gonna have nothing for Jamal Murray or vice versa. Either way, if they stop Yoke and then Jamal, like it's not the same. Because see, you and I talked about Boston. We said, look, if Tatum ain't gonna go off, then Jaylen Brown gotta go off, and they just never it was either Tatum or Jaylen Brown just wasn't enough. So, and I don't think that's going to be the case with Boston. I mean, with Denver. And I think Denver, they got more weapons, bro. KCP is out there doing this thing. They dog washed the Lakers, bro. And
I like that they've just been playing more consistently good.
Yeah, they
Yo,
had a
let
slump
me- let
late
me-
in
let
the
me-
season. Go ahead.
This is a whole different topic change, whole different swap out. Because on Friday, we link on Friday. I wanted to get your opinion about something, bro. Okay, so what one of the things that I'm just kind of curious to this is just a teaser on the Friday episode. So I think that one of the things that's been very interesting is I believe that May is Pride Month, right? And one of the things that was kind of interesting is that at Target was under attack, and people were boycotting Target because they had their Pride clothing and apparel, right? And so one of the things that was really crazy to a lot of people was that them boys had like the kids' clothes, where they basically was implying like this was a swimsuit that was tuck friendly. If you had a little kid, you know what I'm saying, if they had men body parts, you could tuck it if that's what they were trying to do. But this is for like elementary age. This is like, this second grade, first grade, whatever. So people were up in arms about this. On top of that, though, Miller Lite, they were partnering up with this transgender influencer, bro. And ever since then, their sales have basically dropped. And people are boycotting about that, though, man. And so it's just been kind of funny that here during Pride Week, when people are trying to be inclusive, it almost feels like that American fiber is coming back to fight against this inclusiveness, though, bro. Would love to know what you think about that. We're gonna say that to Friday, dude, bro.
Yeah, I'll look it up and give my take about it.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, it's a very simple answer, but we'll talk about it Friday.
Yeah. It's early, man. What you got going on for the week, though, bro?
Man, finish some more studio stuff, working on something new, and then I got 2 potential shows coming up. One in June, one in July, so that's real huge. And then other than that, man, just staying in the studio, really.
Man, I'm envious of that too, because for me, dog, I am saying, you see, my stuff is looking hella empty around me now, though, bro. So I think that this week I got more and more final packing to do, though, man. I think the big thing is I got it. So I'm in the process of moving, and so I got to be able to have everything basically packed on up. Not by this weekend, but I don't want to have to wait till the last minute to make sure everything's done. So we're trying to box up as much stuff. I got the homies coming through to help me on out next week whenever my little pod pulls on up and start dropping stuff off. So that's all I'm doing, man. I have been writing. I got some pretty dope ideas, though, man. Dope ideas for some songs, some lyrics, though, man, that I've been playing around with. So it's been pretty fresh, though, man. Yeah, so I'm excited for when I do finally get back in the lab in the new spot. But this is probably gonna be the longest I've gone. No, I ain't gonna say that. It's been a little stretch. The longest recently that I've gone without having to do anything and getting that. I can't wait to get that creative release. So yeah. But I have been keeping busy with the writing, though, bro. Got some dope ideas, though.
That's what's up. Send me that beat, though.
I got it pulled. I got the laptop pulled up right here. Matter of fact, as soon as we get off here, while it's fresh, if you still got some time, I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, let's get on out of here, broski.
All right, man.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig
of
it,
all time.
sucker?
Yep.